I woke up suddenly, as if someone had dragged me out from the depths of a heady dream and hurled me violently into a painful wakefulness. My whole body screamed in agony. My limbs felt stiff, as though I had spent nights suspended in midair, and my chest tightened with every breath that managed to claw its way in. As for my head, it throbbed with sharp, pounding pulses like a hammer striking my skull from the inside. I didn't know where I was. That was the first thing I realized. I was lying on a hard stone surface, cold in a strange, unnatural way, its smoothness like ancient flint. When I tried to sit up, harsh winds whipped through my hair and across my face, carrying with them the heavy, unmistakable scent of the sea. I paused, breathing, trying to process what was happening. Slowly, I pushed myself up, testing each limb to make sure it still obeyed me. They trembled violently, but they worked. That was somewhat reassuring. I looked around. Nothing but the vast sky and water. The ocean surrounded me in every direction, a dark, terrifying blue like a bottomless void. What I was seeing was impossible, and yet it was there, undeniable. I was standing on top of a massive stone pillar, rising alone in the middle of the sea. No ships, no birds, no islands, no sound except the wind and the distant crash of waves. That was when the first sting of real fear hit me, the kind of fear that feels like a cold hand squeezing your heart. I leaned forward carefully and looked down. There was no end to the pillar. It seemed to stretch downward forever, as if connecting the sky to the seabed. Its height was dizzying, enough to make any hope of survival wobble beneath the shadow of death.
A storm of questions crashed into my mind at once. How did I get here? Did I fall from somewhere? Did someone throw me here? Was this a dream? But the air was cold, the stone was real, the pain was too real. And when desperation arrives, it never knocks unless all other doors have been sealed shut. So I began to think about climbing down. I circled the edge carefully, searching for anything that might help me, until I saw them. Small protrusions carved strangely into the pillar's side, like primitive but precise steps. I wasn't sure if they had been there before, but I had no other choice. I started descending. My grip was so tight I thought my hands might bleed. I tried not to look down, but curiosity or fear won. I looked, and to my horror, I wasn't getting any closer to the water. The pillar was extending downward. Or maybe I was being brought back to the same spot. It was as if the place itself refused to let me leave. Silence spread inside me. Then a dangerous thought emerged. What if I jumped? As if this strange world had heard my thought, a small stone extension appeared from the pillar, like a tiny platform, oddly precise, unnaturally welcoming. I took off my shoes, stepped forward, and jumped. The hit of the water was shocking, yet refreshing, like shifting instantly from terror to numbness. I swam away, watching the sky suddenly turn a grim shade of gray, darkening bit by bit. Then I saw something. Under the water, within the shadows, tiny blue lights, drifting with eerie smoothness, not glowing creatures, but one thing. Something massive, moving with deliberate caution. My heartbeat exploded with panic, and my body moved on its own, swimming back toward the pillar as if some primal instinct had taken control. The moment my hand touched the stone, the protrusions appeared again, exactly when I needed them.
I looked behind me. Jagged fins were breaking through the deep water, moving slowly and confidently. I climbed back up, shaking uncontrollably. I sat at the edge of the pillar, staring down at the sea. Then it surfaced. A creature unlike anything I had seen in my life. A massive sea serpent, but not quite. It had one head, but two faces, one on top and one beneath, both moving together in a way that was deeply unsettling. Along its long body, glowing patches pulsed softly like the breathing of something ancient. A nightmare made flesh. Instinctively, I tested its reaction. I grabbed a small stone and threw it. The beast shot out of the water with terrifying force, catching the stone in its death trap of a mouth. That was when I understood the awful truth. I was trapped, and time was running out. I tried and failed, planned and shattered. Every attempt at survival was met with a new impossibility, as though the entire place was designed, engineered, and waiting. Even prayer wouldn't form properly anymore. There was no escape except one. I stepped onto the edge again. The wind slammed against my body. I opened my arms, leaned forward, into the fall. The pillar shrank rapidly as I plunged downward, the creature rising toward me, spiraling like a hellish vortex, its mouth wide open, its glowing eyes greeting me as if welcoming its prey home. And in the final moments, I didn't feel fear alone. I felt a strange certainty that I hadn't come here by accident, and that whatever awaited me below was not death, but something far deeper.
The pillar was vanishing above me at terrifying speed, and the waters below widened like a hellish vortex. The creature spiraled upward toward me, its double face glowing with venomous light, its open jaws welcoming me like a grave awaiting its occupant. Closer and closer, until I felt its heat and heard a faint, strangled whispering sound. And just as it was about to swallow me, everything disappeared. I fell into pitch-black darkness. No splash, no impact, no scream. Just an endless plunge until consciousness blinked out.
I gasped. My eyes flew open like someone breaking the surface of the water after nearly drowning. I was in my bed, my room, the familiar ceiling above me. The heavy air of a suffocating nightmare still clinging to my lungs. My breaths came fast and broken, my chest rising as if I had truly been drowning moments ago. Long seconds passed before I managed to control my breathing. I ran a hand over my face. It was drenched in sweat, my fingers trembling as if they were still clinging to the stone protrusions of that pillar. I turned my head slowly, and then I heard something I should not have heard. A splash. I looked at the floor and froze.
The bedroom floor was covered with a thin layer of water. Not sweat, not condensation. Real water. Pooling, shimmering under the dim lamp, shifting gently, exactly like small waves brushing the edge of a shore. My heart dropped inside my chest. I stretched my foot out slowly, touched the water. It was cold, clear, carrying the scent of salt, the same scent I smelled atop the pillar. I lifted my eyes toward the window. A thin trail of droplets slid down the glass, as if something had slipped out through it only moments before. And as I tried to comprehend what I was seeing, I heard a faint, distant sound, like something massive gliding across a vast body of water. As if the sea hadn't stayed behind in the dream, but had followed me into reality. If you have reached the end, thank you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.